Welcome to another repair with Astro Auto Repairs. Today, we're going to be diagnosing the famed code P2004 intake manifold runner stuck open. We'll be doing this on a 2009 Dodge Journey. Now let's get all this backyard stuff out of the way. In order to properly diagnose the code, you got to understand what the code means, because if you don't understand what it means, you're going to be changing parts unnecessarily, which I know a lot of you have already done already. Now the P2004, only when the car is at idle, those valves inside the intake manifold, they're closed. The only time those valves open is when you're at wide open throttle or any kind of RPM above 4,000. Other than that, remember, the valves stay closed. Now what's happening here is the valves are in an open position, or so at least the computer thinks that. So what we're going to do, we've already verified the P2004. So what we're going to do is hook up what's called the Snap-on Vantage Pro. Now what this Pro going to do is going to actually test that valve, check voltage, 5 volts, ground, check all that before we condemn the valve. All right, let's get it hooked up and we'll be right back. Okay, to get to the intake manifold runner valve, we got to remove part of the air cleaner, this tube right there. So let me get that tube taken off so we can get to the valve, get to the plug, and test some voltage. Okay, what we have here is the Vantage Pro by Snap-on. This is a very good machine. If you're going to get a diagnostic equipment, it's best to get one of these before you even spend thousands of dollars on the high-end code readers. Now, okay, what we're going to do is put the vehicle in, new vehicle ID, got domestic, we got a Dodge, fuel injected, 2009. Scroll down here to Journey. This is the 2.7. 2.4. Okay, accept it. Now these are all the sensors on this vehicle. We can actually check that sensor or valve to make sure it's bad or good before we go replacing any parts. So we're going to scroll down here. Keep scrolling down to the manifold flow valve. Now what's good about this, especially for all you techs out there who think you know what you're talking about, but don't, this has a component information which we can go in here and it'll tell you about that valve, what it does, what causes the valve to operate, what causes the check engine light to set that code, and other codes. But we don't need that because we're Astro, we got that already. Now we're going to go over here to test. Now what we're going to test is, we're going to go down here to the out of range or no signal test, because what we're going to do is we want to be able to check the volts. We want to check, there should be a 5 volt reference. We want to check ground. Pretty much what we're doing is checking all the wiring to this valve before we condemn the valve. So let's go into there. And the machine is ready. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, to test position sensor, disconnect MFV and connect test leads as follows. Okay, we have yellow going to pin 6 and black is a known ground. And then what they mean by that is connected to the Vantage, got these connectors with alligator clips. The black one, we're going to hook up to a ground. So anything metal, we're going to go over here. This is a battery ground. I can disconnect this. So we got a perfect ground. Now we got the yellow. Now, pin 6. Now, if you don't know what pin 6 is, what's good about the Vantage Pro is that we can scroll over here to this section, connector view, and it tells you pin 1 is ground with a black. It tells you the colors. Now we're going to go down to pin 6. Pin 6, 5-volt supply, yellow with a pink. You cannot get no easier than that. So we're going to connect this to a yellow with pink wire. Now, you might say, this is an alligator clip. How are we going to connect it to this wire? What we have is a wire pincher. You squeeze this little piece down here, and inside there's a little pin. You just put the wire in there, let it go, and it's going to slightly pierce that wire. Then I can hook up the alligator clip to my alligator clip. So we got a yellow with pink wire. Let's go down here to the valve. Here's the valve right here. I got it disconnected, and we got the wires up here. And there we have it, a yellow with a pink. Let's get that connected. Okay, and we're going to connect it here with our alligator clip. Now let's go back up here. Now we finished reading that, so let's go back over to our diagnostics. Okay, we're going to go back. Yellow, pin 6, black, no good ground, which you got. KOEO, that's key on, engine off. Voltage should be 5 volt. Voltage should be 5 volts. Now if you notice at the bottom of the screen, toward the middle, it says voltage DC. So what we're going to do, right now it says 0. What we're going to do is go cut the key on and see what that reads. Five volts. Perfect. Get some hook. Let's scroll down, see what the next part is. If not, but we do got it. Scroll down more. If okay, connect MVP. Back probe yellow. Connect the sensor. So we're gonna go back down here. Disconnect our little connector. And we're going to connect this sensor back. Okay, go back up here. We're going to back probe the yellow to pin 4, sensor ground. Let's go back over here to see what color that wire is going to be. Pin 4, sensor ground, dark blue with a light blue. Okay, go back over here. And the black, no good ground. The black already got connected to a good ground, so I'm not worried about that one. So let's get that one connected. Dark blue with a light blue. So we're looking around. Only dark blue there, then we go right there. Okay. Key on, engine off. Should be less than 0.1 volts. Let's check it out. There it is. It's less. So we're good. We know the voltage is good. The voltage reading to the sensor is good. Now what we're going to do is disconnect, take out. We'll go down here. We're going to take out this valve and see what's caused. See what the hang up is. What we have here, right over here, is the intake manifold valve right there. I already took out the two 10mm bolts, and I just about have the 8mm bolt. So let's just get this bolt out of here and take the valve out. There we go. Wow, it's a really rusted looking valve. Now what I'm doing right here down here is I'm manually operating the valves. And actually you can hear them. Hear me opening and closing them. So that's good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to take this, the valve and the vantage into the truck. And we're going to do a resistance test to test it. And which I believe is no good because I just snapped this back by hand. So yeah, I think we got a bad valve here. But unlike you backyard mechanics, I'm going to test the resistance of this. You notice I love calling you backyard mechanics, right? Alright. Alright, let's take this valve and check out the... Okay, here we are inside the truck. We got the Vantage Pro set up, and we got the manifold valve on the side. Now what we're going to do is call the resistance test. So let's go into resistance test. Now first of all, the machine needs to zero out for calibration. So what we're going to do is connect both connectors. Let it calibrate. Perfect. To test resistance, disconnect MFV, remove from manifold, which we did. Connect to test leads as follows. Yellow pin 1 and black pin 3. Now what we're going to do is go over here. Now from the connector, see right there is connector view from the connector view, back probing. So 1 and 3. So if you could see the screen, from the top of the plug, 1 and 3, right across from each other. So we're going to get out of here. Now right over here, you see the connector. I put a little light on here so you can see the pins. Now the thing is, again, we got these big alligator clips. Got to go in there. Now it's possible we can get in there with these clips, but just in case we don't, we got a set of alligator clips here, which is great. As you can see, they got small little alligator clips and on the end little pins. But let's try to get those in there and see what our resistance is. Resistance should be about 2 ohms. So let's check that out and see if what we got. We got 4 ohms, which is not good. Now about 2, which means that the max ohms should be 2. We're sitting at 4. That's not a good reading. just in case, what I did was hook up to the other terminals. We're sitting at about 312. We're still no good. So, we definitely got a bad intake manifold valve here. This thing looks like it's really in bad condition. And just like I said, when I first took it out, I noticed I was able to snap this back into place, which means I know I snapped it closed. So we're going to get some prices of one, let the customer know, get it replaced, take care of this code. Thank you for joining us. This is another repair by Astro Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can.